Welcome. I hope you enjoyed my introduction on strategic foresight. What is it? The key objectives, the benefits, and the how. So I think now is a good moment maybe to jump into the future a little bit and explore the structural forces of change that are influencing the world as we know today. So first off, we have social changes. Demographic shifts that are currently happening are affecting both developed and emerging economies in a very different way, however. So developed economies are observing stagnating population growth and aging societies, leading to challenges in their healthcare system and also quite a bleak outlook when it comes to the working population. Emerging economies, on the other hand, still are experiencing significant growth of population, coupled with challenges related to lacking infrastructure. So they're seeing the populations migrate both internally into cities where that infrastructure is more easily available or to other countries. Secondly, we have technology changes, and we all have heard about AI. I don't think you could spend an hour without hearing AI somewhere. But also quantum technology, Web 3.0, virtual reality, biotechnology, IoT, you name it. And we made tremendous progress in all of those. The moment those technologies converge and start to really bring synergies, the human capabilities will make huge leap. All of those technologies, however, require significant investment in research and development to make them happen. And that investment can only be done by the developed economies or by mega companies, further fueling inequalities in multiple dimensions. Thirdly, we have environmental changes, and climate crisis is on top of the global agenda. There are further tensions and pressure to enforce reduction of carbon emissions. And the move to net zero economy is a costly one. We're currently not even close to the level of spending that is required to achieve that. We also consuming resources faster than ever, 1.7 times faster than they can be replenished, which is challenging supply chains. On the economic front, we've been in a situation where public debt has been growing since 2007, and those additional cost pressure on the healthcare front, on the infrastructure front for the growing populations in emerging economies, all the transition to net to zero might impact the ability of the governments to invest in technologies, potentially giving ground to mega companies. We also see a redefinition of globalization. We've seen how supply chains suffered due to COVID-19 or to military conflicts. And especially in light of new technologies, we can now think about manufacturing closer to home, which might change how we define globalization in a few years' time. Finally, we have political shifts. Across the globe, we've been observing the rise of polarization that is tearing societies apart. As a result, political decision making is much more complex and much more difficult to predict, making it more challenging to the businesses, which also have the challenge to build a marketing message that would resonate with this very fragmented society. And recent years brought an escalation of conflicts on the military, cyber, and trade front, resulting in sanctions, cyber business interruptions, disruptions to supply chain, and unfortunately, international organizations seem to be less and less able to influence and de escalate the situation. Those forces of change, although quite obvious and observed by all of us, can in themselves result in a multitude of possible and plausible future scenarios. Are you using them to those what if questions? For example, what if the trade between China and the West world would halt completely? What if mega companies would be more powerful than a medium sized country, would have more influence over the regulations? Or maybe on a more positive note, what if humans, thanks to technology advancements, would be able to revert climate change and live one as nature? Please let me know in the comments if you're already using strategic foresight, if you have participated in scenario planning, or if you're using this kind of what if thinking in your strategic planning.